Welcome to Cyberbytes. Today we will be discussing about the tool Nuclei, which is a community-powered vulnerability scanner. In this episode of Cyberbytes. Alright, Nuclei tool is basically created by the guys at Project Discovery. A big shout out to them for this wonderful tool. And this is basically having multiple uses, or you can say multiple use cases if you want to say. So it is composed of various components. One of those components is basically the core engine, that is the Nuclei engine that runs the tests for us. So these tests are basically nothing but simple templates that we create to check and verify for some vulnerabilities that we are looking for an endpoint. And these basically templates are written in YAML format. Now to create your own templates, that is also possible. They have a good documentation on how actually you can go for creating your own templates or your own use cases. Also, there are lots of templates which have been provided by the community members, and these range from simple informational vulnerabilities till critical vulnerabilities, also based on the vulnerabilities that you're trying to find for an endpoint. So this basically the stage at which Nuclei is very much useful to you is when actually you are discovering all the endpoints for a given scope of your bug bounty or your pen test. So for that, if you are trying to do proper host discovery, proper enumeration part, so there are lots of tools available for that also. If you want, you can refer to my previous videos on how actually you can go on discovering hosts and then apply the Nuclei tool if you want. And in this video we will be looking out for various types of templates that we can use to find vulnerabilities, or you can check for some vulnerabilities if they exist. So we will be proceeding with the starting with the basics of the scanner. And the good thing about the capability, if I want to point out, is that it is having lots of capabilities. As a vulnerability scanner, this is an excellent tool. Next, it can be also useful as a brute forcer. So if you are using Burp Suite, so Burp Suite has different intruder modes, pitchfork, cluster bomb, sniper, etc. So you can use these algorithms in that also in your Nuclei templates also. It is also used for verification of issues if they are having, or you are looking for something specific, it can help you with that also. So the best thing about this is when you are writing your own test cases, when you are writing your own YAML files or what are templates, so the good thing is you are knowing what you are doing. So it will be having very much less probability of getting false positives. So if I'm knowing how the request and response is, and how actually my response should look like, and what my response should contain, this tool is having that much, you can say, control over that. And based on our specific requirements, we can actually go further into the you can say applications vulnerability, actually report for your bounty programs or your pen test. You can create a proof of concept for that also. So test cases could be simple, or you can say range to complex also, depending on how actually you are leveraging your application, or you can say leveraging the application's request and response cycle. Also, it is highly customizable, and ready-made templates are available, which is a very good thing. So you can take any of the any class of templates that you are trying to use and use them as you can say boilerplate code, and then you can go on with the creating your own custom templates. It is also capable to run multiple test cases against a target. So in that context, it is known as workflows. So it will be in other videos, I will also be showing you how actually we can integrate some workflows also for a specific class of application, or you can say specific class of your test cycle, whichever it is comfortable in your context. Let us begin with the installation and configuration part of the tool Nuclei. So before that, if you like my work and if you want that more educational contents like this should come from the channel, kindly do subscribe, do like, and do share with your mates. So it will be very much helpful for the channel to grow. Kindly provide your feedback. So without further ado, let us begin with that. All right. So this is our tool Nuclei, and the installation procedure for this tool is quite straightforward. You can just directly copy this command, and actually you're good to go. And for that, Go language is mandatory and that is required. So for that, installing and configuring Go on your, either if you're having a Kali Linux machine or if you are having a Windows machine, I will be providing the links in the description on how actually you can proceed with installation and configuration of Go language. So I have already installed this on my Kali Linux machine, which is currently connected. Let me just switch to that. Yeah, here I am. Great. So basically it will be copied to uh, Go and in the bin. So I have nuclei also. So what I have done is I have copied nuclei to user local bin. So like so you can copy it and it will be available throughout your terminal. So you can do that also. I have already done that. All right. So okay, so there we are. Now let us hit the nuclei's help file. So there are lots of options that are available for us. So we will be looking at the options as and when we are doing the demonstration, and I will be explaining you how these options are useful. So we can actually use include or exclude templates as per our choice. You can actually also you can say if you want to save the output, that is also possible. You can set the verbosity level also, that is also a good thing. Also some of the configurations, if you want specific to the tool, that is also possible. You can put those also. Also you can also rate limit if you want, for setting the concurrency or number of requests that you want to pass, and that is also possible with this tool. If you want to inspect or see how the requests are going, how the requests are behaving, you can also pass this through proxies also. So if you have burp, you can actually put this between burp and see how the requests are going. If you want, you can update from the console also, update this tool, update the templates. Now talking about the templates, whenever the tool nuclei is installed on your machine, the templates will be there available for you in the home folder. So I'll be showing you where in the home folder, cd nuclei templates. So yeah, here, and here basically all the templates are put in the form of, you can say, very systematically put. Say for example, if we want to explore templates based on CVEs, so based on CVs also there are lots of templates available for us. These have been arranged in the form, in the year order. You can go to the respective year, and whatever the templates that have been provided by the community, you can run the tests against those services if you are knowing what actually these templates are doing. So before that is my general advice for each and every templates in this tool, that before you run the template, kindly have a look at the what are the request response, how these templates are, what this template is looking for. So that will be showing you, and I will be later in this video I will be also be showing you how actually we can create a template for detecting a small vulnerability, or you can say brute forcing a login panel also. That is also possible. Next, say for example, we want to go to default logins. If you want to go for default logins also, so yes, so if we have an Apache, that is very much common. Yeah, so there are for Apache Tomcat, I will be showing you that this also. So in this way, what I mean to say you is that there are lots of templates available, and these templates you can have a look. Say for example, let us have a look at the Tomcat manager. Yeah, so this is how actually our template looks like. So the identifier is Tomcat manager default. The information that has been supplied by the name, what is the name of this template. So this is the default password. Who is the author? So this has been authored by project discovery team. Severity of this issue, what are the tags, because based on the tags, severity and author also, you can call the templates for running tests. So yes, so in the request section here, what are the payloads? So for the username these are the payloads that can be used. For password, these are the payloads that can be used. Now here it has been told that attack type is pitchfork. So if you want, you can change to sniper, not sniper here in this case. You can change to cluster bomb also if you want. So this is also possible. So you can make your own templates based on that. So what is the raw request? So the good thing about this, which I like the most about Nuclei, is that yes, I can write my own raw request. So say for example, if my application is having a specific type of request that I can see, but my tool is basically unable to work in that scenario, or it is giving me some sort of you can say false positive or false negative. So I can actually practically go on and write my own request, raw request, or if you are referring to the documentation, there are other ways to write your template, and if you want, you can just take this template, and based on this template you can actually create your own request, and you can test this specific request against your target, and you can get a more refined, or you can say more accurate result, which matters most in your bug bounty or pen test in that case. So yes, so you can actually create your own URL, and then you can put a matching condition of and it has been put here, and what are the matchers. So basically it is looking for status 200. So we all know that status 200 is basically okay. So our request is through, and also we are searching for the word in the body as Apache Tomcat. So if you are getting that, and we can see, so I'll be briefly showing you how actually we can go ahead with that. So I have some virtual machines deployed in my network right now, and we will be shortly running those tests. So let us begin with tests. So let us first begin with some basic tests. So for that, what I will do is I will put a tab open here, and I will be showing you what are the templates, how these templates look, and how actually we can go about and run our Nuclei tool on that. So in one tab I have opened, so I will just go to Nuclei templates. I will have a look at templates, and we'll begin with the most you can say easy to understand ones. So what we can do is we can actually go with the Apache, so Tomcat login that we just saw. So we can go with Nuclei templates, then we can go for default logins, and yeah, here we can go with the Apache. So before going to that, let us do one thing. I will just start my Burp Suite, and I will also show you in browser how this request is going and how it looks like, and how actually this can be mapping with these requests. So on a basic level, if you are new to Nuclei, and if you want to understand how this tool works, and you are planning to expand your skill set in getting more in you can say more complex, if you want to planning to write your own templates, then this will be helpful to you. So if you are already used Nuclei and you know everything, then it is okay, you can skip this part of video also. So let us do one thing. Let me just start my Burp Suite, and I will be showing you the how it looks in browser, how it looks behind the scene, and how actually this request here on this side of the screen maps to our example. Okay, so I have set up my Burp Suite and my browser here. So the URL for our testing purpose here is for a vulnerable machine that I have deployed is 192.168.1.12, and the port number is 8180. So this is the request that went through. Now let us have a look at what at the you can say the background it is happening. So what is happening in the background? Let us have a look at that. So yeah, this one. So manager.html. So here is our manager. So if we can look here, so this is our manager HTML. So it will try to this YAML script will try to test for this, and automatically it will try to fill this path. Say for example anything like that we are putting. We are trying to sign in, but yeah, we know that this is not valid. But yeah, still. So if you can see here, it has captured in the burp request. So here we can look here that authorization basic, and this is the format. So if you can look at the documentation on how actually basic HTTP authentication works, you can know the format for that, username and password that has been appended. So this is the format of the request that is being sent, and this is same mimicked in here also. You can see here, yeah. So this is the part where actually we are trying to target. So basic, and it is being decoded, you can say encoded into base 64 in the combination of username and separated by a colon and password here. So this is how actually it will work, and it will be cycling through that. So this is how this script will work, and whenever we are getting our correct answer, or you can say correct username and password, it will work in this manner. So it will try to look for Apache Tomcat in the upcoming page, and it will be telling us that we have successfully tried that. So let us do one thing. Let us try to run the script and we will be seeing here. So we will be using nuclei, and we will be using the template T and the path of the template. So that is in home, Kali, in my machine, nuclei templates, and it is going into default logins and going to Apache. And then we are using Tomcat manager. Okay. And then this is the template. This is a URL that we want to fire upon. So that will be HTTP 192.168.1.12 with the port 8180 and then we will be trying to run this scan, and we will be putting this -v verbose switch to see what is happening behind the scenes here. So let us have a look how actually it will work. Right. So yes, now you can see here, whenever we are getting a confirmation that yes, from the word list that is shown here, username and password payload, it was successfully completed using this username Tomcat and password Tomcat. It is also telling me that this is a high risk vulnerability, and actually you can try to test that same. So let us try and test this again with Tomcat. Yeah, let us go for manager and let us see Tomcat, and there we are. Okay, so we can actually see that what actually we are getting is basically that we have actually successfully entered this application, and this is the Tomcat that we are getting in our body in after 200 request, HTTP code 200, and based on that it is showing me the result. Now this was about the most basic script that you can try. I hope you might have gotten a gist of that, and we can now proceed with other sections of the scripts also that I have planned to demonstrate to you. So let us move with those. All right, great. So if you want, we can actually, there is another, we can also try for DVW also for test purpose. The script has been created. So if you want to, you can say, see that if there are any exposed panels that, or you can say default logins that are present, we can see that also. Let us have a look at this YAML file also. Cat DVWA default login. So it is quite straightforward. You can actually have a look. So this is a you can try raw request, and you can try to go for login.php, and then after that you can go for the username, that is admin, and password, that is password, that we all know, as we have tried as students in running and testing DVWA. So as for that, extractors are also there. Here a regex has been put, and how actually we can know that we have successfully executed the script is by getting the tokens and the sessions that have been set, and it is telling in that it has been, you have been logged in as admin. So better let us have a look and see how actually we can do that. So we know the URL. I will be showing you where it is actually. So here is our DVWA panel, and we will be targeting this panel. So let us target it and let us see how our result gets to. So let us do. So we can use this only, and we can just change a little bit of that and change the name of the script. DVWA default login.yml, and we will just go about that. So yes, we have our login. So it is successfully logged into us. So if you are using you can say username as admin and password as admin, what we are getting, that is basically the thing. So why this demonstration? Because there are lots of control panels for ICS and or SCADA devices that actually have pre-fed request that actually runs through, and you might log into that also. There are cases, if you refer news of various security researchers that have tried this thing. So you are getting that also. So this is the case that basically relates to us. You can say relates, very not unusual, but yes, it is usual. It does happen. So admin and password. There we go. So we have logged in as admin. So here it is, the regex that has been checked. So yes, in that you can see here that you have logged in as admin, and our session will be set. So yes, this was about the DVWA. Now let us hop on to another one. Now, as I talked moments before about exposed panels of SCADA or ICS devices, yes, there are also templates that basically are specifically dedicated to checking, or you can say testing for default panels. So let us move into that folder, default logins or exposed panels. Sorry, so exposed panels, and yes, let us have a look at. There are lots of exposed panels that are there, and if you know the default username and password, or you can say default credentials for them, or they might have hard-coded credentials in their request. If you just replay those requests, you are into the panel. So that is also possible. So to explain that, let me just show you PHPMyAdmin. So that is the most easily relatable thing that I want to show you. So now PHP my admin panel. Yeah, so these are the URLs after your base URL. So these are the possible URLs where actually you can find the default PHPMyAdmin panel, and you can actually have a look into that also. In the current template version that I am showing you demonstration today only, as of today I have added one more URL from my end to the repository about the PHPMyAdmin panel. So let me show you here. Okay, so here is PHPMyAdmin here. All right, so this is PHPMyAdmin panel. Okay, now see this is the base URL that is there in our request, and after that this is the URL that actually we need to see. So in the default you can say the default URLs that have been given by the community templates, this URL was not there. So after some testing and even from my previous experience with my clients also, I was able to see that PHPMyAdmin in this regex form is also there. So I have added this and I have pushed, and you will be happy to know that these changes have been accepted by the project managers, and they have included in the new script. So if you update your scripts, you will be getting this new regex, and I'll be showing you these new regex also just now. So let me show you what actually I mean, that in the older versions of this script, or you can say YAML file, this was actually not detected. So let me show you that here. I will be just PHP myadmin panel.yml. So see, if you are running an older script, it will not detect this thing. So for that I have made some changes, and I will be running that change script. I will be showing you that change script, and here I have saved some of those there. So here, see here. So here actually a base URL has been added with this regex, with this path, sorry. PHPMyAdmin, in camel case PHP capital My and then admin. This is also there. Also when we get a response for extraction, here also space is also there. So space was not there. So this has been updated today, so that will be a good thing. So if we run this script, it will show us the result here. So I will be just changing the path here. Let's run this command and see what we get. Right, see here, if we can get the panel here. In the previous request that we sent, it was not there. So here actually this script has been changed and added one more path, and if you use this newer available script, it will be also helpful to you. So this was about that PHPMyAdmin. So now let us talk about the exposed panels section, where actually we will be talking about the WordPress login panel. It is also useful to detect a WordPress login panel that actually resides on the wplogin.php URL. So if your application is the endpoints that you might be hunting down, and some of the endpoints developer might not have taken care to actually just rename the defaults, then actually you might land up on that also. So let us try to put you can say the script to work, and we'll be seeing how actually we can leverage this thing. So I have a WordPress installation on my network with the IP address 1.7, and we'll be just changing the YAML file and firing the script. Templates, and we have exposed panels, and there we have WordPress login. All right, so let us have a look. See here, we got the WordPress panel at 192.168.1.7/wplogin.php. Let us look and confirm the same. And there we are. we have our WordPress login. So I'll be showing you in the upcoming parts of the video also how we can actually brute force this also. That is also possible. This was about WordPress. Now if we want, we can actually also check for exposed panels or administrator panels of Joomla also. So we all know Joomla is a popular content management platform, and we can use the available scripts provided by Nuclei community to test these scripts, test this also. So exposed panel and Joomla panel. So here it is. So it will be checking for the administrator, and we will be, I am having my Joomla installation at 1.13. Yeah, now it will work. So basically this is the base path from where actually it will be looking forward, and there we are getting our result here. See here, Joomla panel is available at /192.168.1.13/Joomla/administrator. Let me just navigate there and show you. There we are, Joomla. This is our URL, and after base URL it is adding. Okay, so here is our administrator panel for Joomla. We can actually go and try to brute force if we want. That is also possible to show the proof of concept, or that this basically is misconfigured. All right, so this was about that.